Hey there, Regina Andler here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Hey, are you a techie? It's funny to me because I have been a techie all of my life. So I started my tech career way, way, way um, back when we still had those big 5 1/4 floppy disks and all that kind of fun stuff, and 8 megabytes of hard drive space was actually all you had in the computer. It was the way, way, way back when. So here's the thing. One of the things that I hear very often from folks is that they're having tech trouble or they need a new computer, they don't know what to get. So I thought I would provide for you today some insights to the tech side of your business. So listen up if you're having any tech questions. I am happy to answer any questions that you might have. We'll talk about that at the end. First, I'm going to talk about I have a couple notes here to make sure I cover everything. Let's just talk about your computer. What kind of computer do you have? Are you an Apple person? Are you a PC person? What kind of person are you? Either way, it doesn't matter to me. Even when I owned my computing made simple business, where I actually fixed computers, I fixed both. I did Apples and I did PCs. So I am not one side or the other. There's a lot of people who are, I'm definitely an Apple person, I'm definitely a PC person, and there's no in between. I can go either way when it comes to the computer. It's what works best for you. And depending on what you're doing, there are different reasons to pick an Apple over a PC as well. It used to be more, the gap has kind of closed a little bit. It used to be if you were doing anything graphics, you wanted an Apple. Now the PC graphics are just as good, so you don't have to worry about that. Right now, it's more preference. Apples do cost a little bit more than a PC. However, you can finagle it so that it's pretty close. So if you want an Apple, go for an Apple. PC, go for a PC. That's enough about that. What do you need in this computer, whether it's an Apple or a PC, right? It could be the computer itself. It's the same components on the inside. So the hard drives that are in the PCs are the same hard drives that are in the Apples. It's the operating system that's the difference. So the equipment itself is the same. So here's what you want for equipment. When you're thinking about a computer for your work, I am only going to talk about laptops at the moment because for most people, coaches and consultants, you want to be mobile. You want to be able to pick up and, if you need to go work in a coffee shop, you work from home. If you want to go out, if you need to go to a mastermind, you need to go someplace, you need to go to a meeting, you want to be able to pick up and bring your computer with you. So we're just going to focus on laptops. Desktops are another story. So, and different configurations. So from a laptop standpoint, whether it's a MacBook or something like a Dell XPS. Actually, I have a Dell XPS. That's what I use. And I know a lot of people who use Apple MacBooks, so MacBook Pros. When you think about it, here are the minimum configuration requirements. So the minimum configuration from a processor standpoint, the processor, that's kind of like it's the brains of your computer. There's these processors, and we're not going to get into details about that. We're just going to say when you look at the configuration, you're looking for an i7 or even better, an i9. What is that? They're Intel processors, and 7s and 9s are the higher end. If you go, say, to a cheaper store to go buy something, Walmart, okay? You go to Walmart to buy a computer, you're going to find cheaper computers. If you look at the configurations, chances are pretty good they're going to have an i5. Now, that's great if you're just, surfing the net and doing stuff and you're doing home stuff. Not so much if you're running a business. So you're looking for a processor i7 or i9 because that's going to give you more brain power for your computer. The next thing is the memory. It's called RAM, random access memory. This is the thing that as you're doing things, I don't know about you, how many tabs do you have open on your computer right now? I know I have a bunch of them open on my computer right now. So that random access memory, that's where all that stuff is living. That's where the stuff that you're doing right now is all hanging out there, and the more memory, the better. So you're looking for a minimum of 16 gigabytes of memory. So it'll say RAM, RAM, when you're looking at the configurations, but that's what that is. And 32 is even better. So again, more memory is better on That just is a global thing with computers. And then when it comes to the hard drive is consideration. Where do you store your stuff? If you store most of your stuff on the cloud, then you don't need as much local hard drive space. So a lot of people get memory and hard drive space confused. Memory is something different. That's where all this stuff, as you're running it, is living. And as you're going in and out, you're going in and out from Excel, your mail, your Chrome, whatever it is that you have open, PowerPoint, Canva, whatever it is. That's where all that stuff's living. Your hard drive is where things are being stored. So you're saving a file onto your hard drive. Now, depending on what you're saving, that depends on the size of the hard drive that you need. So if you're doing a lot of video work, a lot of maybe webinars and stuff, and you want to save everything, so those MP4 files and the other video type files, they can be pretty sizable. So if you're saving them locally, meaning on your computer, you want a bigger hard drive. So 512 is the minimum for that. 512 gigabytes, GB. You'll see 512 GB is on the configuration when you look at the sheet. And if you're storing more and you're storing a lot of stuff, you can go to a terabyte, which is basically double the 512. So it's it'll say 1 TB, 1 terabyte. And the local is great. However, most people today, you're storing stuff on the cloud. If you're saving it to the Google Files and stuff like that, that's not on your computer. That's all up on the cloud, and so you don't need as much space. And why am I telling you this? Because the bigger the hard drive, the more memory, all this stuff. When you go up, guess what? So is the price. So you want to be you want to be aware of what it is that you're paying for. So it's kind of you do need to do a little research and think as to how you want to use your computer before you go out and buy it. Now, if you're doing a lot of graphic stuff, you want high-end graphics, and graphics are a whole nother ballpark. There's all kinds of different graphics. If you buy any kind of professional computer, you're going to have at least the minimum of what you need for graphics. So don't worry about that. And then when it comes to displays, now I've got 3 displays here. I have a laptop. I have a Dell XPS laptop, and that's over there. And then I have a monitor here, and I have a monitor here. So I actually have 3 screens all together, and I use them all. So I'll have mail up on one, my whatever I'm working on right in front of me. I have other stuff. I have my calendar and everything on the other one. So everything is right there for me. Now, if you're going to do that kind of configuration, you want to make sure that you have the external ports available on the computer. Now, laptops these days do not come with the ports that they used to. They used to have a whole bunch of ports on them, and you'd have your port for your Ethernet to plug you into your wired network. Most laptops do not have that anymore. So you want to make sure that the laptop has a port for an external dock. So I have an external dock down here. It's called a Thunderbolt dock. So it plugs into this Thunderbolt port. So you want to make sure, and I believe all MacBooks come with a Thunderbolt, and I believe all the XPSs do as well. So you want to make sure those ports are there. Now, what you want is that external dock is a separate component from your laptop, but you want to make sure you package it all together so that no matter where you go, you have the connections. Now, what I do is I plug in all the stuff that I don't need to take with me. So if I'm going to a mastermind, or I'm going to go work in a coffee shop, or I'm going to go do something on my laptop, I have everything that I need right there. If I need to plug in earphones, there's a couple USB ports. I'm not plugging into Ethernet, so I don't have to worry about that. That's not there. So I don't need that. That's in my dock, which is below me. So, and my extra displays, I don't need to worry about an HDMI port or a display port on them to plug those into, because those are also in my Thunderbolt dock. So when you think about the computer that you need, what do you really need? That's the first thing that you need to think about. I used to help people buy computers all the time, and it can be, if you're not techie, it can be challenging. And if you're not techie and you walk into one of those computer stores and you start chatting with people, they will likely sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need. So I'm putting the offer out there today. If you need any help with buying a computer, shoot me an email at regina@automacent.com and say computer help, and I'll be more than happy to help you with figuring out what you actually need for your business. Now, next thing is the minimum software. So now you have this computer. That's great. It has an operating system on it. Maybe it came with a trial of Microsoft Office or something else. What do you need to actually get your job done? Now, chances are pretty good you need something like Microsoft Office or the Google software. You need the Google Suite so that you have some kind of Word document format. You have some kind of an Excel. You have some kind of a PowerPoint. Those are actually the Microsoft names. Google has Google Sheets, uh, their Word version, which totally eluded me right there now. But they have the whole thing over there too. So there's options depending on what you want to pay. And you can have it local, you can use it on the cloud. Again, there's different versions, and it really depends on how you're using your computer. It's really, really, really super important that when you go buy a computer, you consider the use. So if you say, hey, I want to go work in the coffee shop, and the coffee shop doesn't happen to have their network up that day, so your wireless isn't working. All of them come with wireless, by the way, so you don't have to worry about that. But maybe their wireless is down. So you want to be able to work local, except for you using a cloud version of Microsoft or Google, and now you can't access it because it's in the cloud and you're not attached to it. So you want to be aware of what you need when you need it. And then, that's the basic, right? Because you're writing documents, you're writing that kind of thing. Then there's email. So what are you using for email? Are you using Google Mail? Again, that's all out in the cloud. Are you using something like Outlook, Microsoft Outlook on your physical computer? And then that maybe calls in your Google or some other mail from some other provider. Mail is a big piece of our organizations, no matter what kind of coach or consultant you are. So those are some basics. And then there's our working software. So what is our working software? Well, we have to have some kind of client relationship management program. So that's your CRM, right? And they come in all shapes and sizes. And some of the popular ones are HubSpot and Zoho. I use ActiveCampaign for sending out emails, and also it's kind of my management system as well. So there's a lot of these programs that are out there, they're multifaceted as far as what they can do. But you need some kind of CRM. So the CRM includes, like, it's not just the client management, it's also like emails that you're sending out. So there's MailChimp and other programs like that that can help you do that. What else? ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, Zoho, HubSpot. They're all programs that can help with that. And then you want some scheduling because you want people that are able to book appointments with you, right? So depending on what you're doing, if you're in a health and wellness, you might want to use something, a professional scheduling tool like I think it's called Mindvalley. Mindbody is the name of one of them, and there's a bunch of different ones that are out there, and you might want something like that for health and wellness type scheduling. Most of us need something like Calendly. Personally, I use an app called Book Like a Boss. It's not that expensive. I pay annually for it, and it's under $10 a month for me. And I like it because I can create multiple booking pages and that are a little bit more flashy than just, the basic Calendly. And they do the same thing, send out all the emails and that kind of thing. So how do you want people booking appointments with you? You need some kind of a calendar app. And then you want some kind of video conferencing. So how are you chatting? If you're doing virtual meetings with your clients, then you need something like Zoom, or you need something like maybe WebEx, or something that Microsoft Teams is one that's out there. I don't necessarily recommend that. But there's other ones that are out there that you connect with. Most people use Zoom. I mean, WhatsApp, you can have conversations over WhatsApp. So you can use Marco Polo if it's one-to-one and you're talking back and forth, you're going, but that's 1 and 2. So there's different things that you can use. There's all kinds of different apps out there. Again, it comes down to what is your business and how do you communicate with your clients? Think it all out before you start buying software. And most of these softwares all have trial versions. I highly, highly, highly recommend using trial versions. I also highly recommend asking other people who have used them to see what they're using, to see what their thoughts were. Now, if you go out there and you go out on a say a Facebook page, Facebook group that has 10,000 plus followers on it, chances are pretty good if you say, "Hey, what CRM should I use?" You're going to get a list of CRMs. And what you want to do is you want to go through and pick and choose. See who gets the most points. See who gets called out the most. Go High Level right now is one app that a lot of people are using. So a lot of people are using Go High Level to manage everything. It's one of those all inclusive. So it does the CRM stuff, it does membership site, it does everything. When you think about all that stuff that you need, plan it out accordingly so that you don't start wasting money. I will tell you, I wasted money going in membership sites, stuff like that. I went and I paid annually for an app. I paid for one that I literally never set up. I looked at it, I thought it was good, and I literally never set it up. Why? Because even for a techie like me, it was too complicated and I didn't have the time to go deal with it. And so I literally just canceled the membership and that was it. But it was a waste of money, really. So when you plan out, you don't waste money like that. In that case, I didn't plan. I just said, "Oh, that looks really good. I'm looking for an app. Let's buy it." And then I really didn't get into the nuts and bolts of what was going on with it. As a result, you know, it wasn't a ton of money. I think it was like $550 or something like that. But still, $550 is $550, right? So let's see, what else? Project management. Project management might be something that you need, especially if you have any virtual assistants working with you. You can use project management tools to manage what everybody's working on and to assign tasks and that kind of thing, or assign yourself tasks. So you can use it for yourself or for a team. So apps like Trello or Asana are really good apps for that. And again, all of these have free versions, and then you can pay up to get added benefits to them. Let's see. When you want to create content, how are you creating your content? So there's programs like Canva, apps like Canva or Adobe Creative Cloud. Depending on what you're creating, you want to look at that. Personally, I use Canva, and I basically use Canva every single day for something, whether it's an image that I'm putting on an article or a blog or something I'm putting into an email, or if I'm creating a lead magnet or whatever it is that I'm doing, I can do all of that inside of Canva. And again, Canva is a very cost-effective. I use the Canva Pro. It's a very cost-effective program. Now, the next thing that you need is you need a way for your clients to pay you. So payment plan options, there's a ton of them are out there. The two most popular are PayPal, which almost everybody uses, and Stripe. Now, Stripe has the fees, extra fees that go along with it, and I think they're a little bit higher than PayPal. PayPal is very good because people know it. Stripe is pretty well known too. Personally, I do use Stripe. And so you pick what you need for your particular products and services. That's where it comes in. And then, the next thing is, where are you going to put that membership site? If you have a program that it might be an evergreen program or someplace where you're working back and forth with your clients as a membership site for them to watch modules and that kind of thing, where are you putting that? There's apps like Teachable or Kajabi or Podia. There's all kinds of membership sites. Now, Kajabi is another one of those all-inclusive, like Go High Level, where it has everything, the membership sites there, the CRMs there, the email stuff, even landing pages and that kind of thing. So assess your needs first before you go searching for these apps and actually do your homework. Research is key when it comes to this. And then last but not least, you want to make sure you're doing something with your analytics. And Google Analytics, I'm just going to say hands down, has always been the best for me. So, and for everybody that I've chatted with. So Google Analytics, you can go in and check your analytics on everything that's going on. There's other analytical tools that are out there. Now, a couple other little odd tools are stuff like scheduling software, like scheduling for your social media. Now, I caution about that because a lot of people ask me about that. They're like, well, how can I just pre-schedule everything? Pre-schedule it on the app, because apps like Facebook recently, as of April, are no longer letting third-party apps do their scheduling. So you need to make sure that you are doing this correctly so that you don't get locked out. Generally speaking, when Facebook does something, other platforms start to follow. So who knows if LinkedIn and Facebook owns Instagram, so it may do the same thing, and they may stop letting all of this stuff come in. So be careful about what it is that you're doing. Really plan, set up your strategy, set up your processes and systems for how you do everything when it comes to this stuff. And when you know how you're supposed to be doing it, that will help you choose the right tools and everything else that you need to keep you moving forward from a tech standpoint. If you have any questions about tech, again, I am offering a free half-hour assessment to just go through what you have to say, okay, well, where are you? What do you have? And help you along. It's the tech in me. Once a tech, always a tech. I am happy to help anybody get their tech in order just to make sure that you're moving forward. Tech, as you know, it goes way far out. I mean, there's everything from microphones, from headphones to cameras, to everything that's going on. There is a lot involved. Everything is tech these days. So if you have any questions, just email computer help to Regina. I'll actually put it in, I'll put it on the screen right now. Let's get that up there. There it is right there. So Regina at autumnascent.com. Just email me computer help and I will send you my calendar so that you can set up a 30-minute free consultation, no obligation, just to get you started and make sure that your tech is in the right place. That's what I have for you today. Have a great day today, and we will see you next week on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Bye for now.